Nintendo recently dropped the Switch 2, and spoiler alert, it's not just a slightly shinier version of the original.
We're talking faster load times, sharper visuals, and a brand new GameChat feature that lets you roast your friends in real time while losing in Mario Kart.
But is it really the upgrade we've been waiting for, or just Nintendo doing the bare minimum with the fancy new name? We spent some time with it and we got some thoughts, so let's get into it.
Okay, so this time around, it's a larger device. It looks like the Switch is all grown up, and it has a premium look and feel about it. Like, we love the matte, smooth finish, and then kind of like we noticed, like when the light hits it, we can like kind of see a little bit of sparkles in that black shell of this Nintendo Switch 2.
You thought I was crazy when I saw that.
I did, but then I did see it for myself. We like the subtle color, you know, around the rings for the Joy-Cons versus the full color on the original Switch. It just looks more grown up, a little bit more subdued, you know, a little bit more professional, if you're into that kind of thing.
And you have a larger screen. 7.9-inch 1080p up to 120 Hz LCD display with VRR versus the 6.2-inch 720p 60 Hz LCD display on the Switch. You also have support for HDR 10, and what I like is it now looks nice and sleek. You barely even notice the bezels like you do with the original Switch, so it's really nice.
Yeah, only thing, we wish it was an OLED screen.
Yeah.
But there might have been some issues getting an OLED at that size. I don't know. But you know, in like 2 or 3 years, Nintendo's going to come out with the OLED version of the Switch 2. So that's just going to be a thing. But it's not coming out the gate with the OLED.
No.
We like the buttons and the triggers and the shoulder buttons. They feel good. It's just a little bit more refined from the original Switch. I like the clickiness of the shoulder buttons.
Yes. I love that clickiness.
Kind of has a mechanical
like a mouse or something.
Keyboard or a high-end mouse kind of feel about it. The face buttons are bigger this time around, and the inner SL and SR buttons and the thumbsticks, they're also bigger. And we like the way the thumbsticks feel. They just feel a little smoother as they go around the gate. You know, they're not a Hall effect, but they feel a lot nicer.
Yeah, so you might get some drifting along the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
time will tell.
Right.
And we've been loving the ability now to be able to magnetically detach and attach these Joy-Cons. Like when you snap it on there, it's just so satisfying versus the rail system on the Switch 2. So that's really nice. And Damien, he loves his magnets, so he's all about that. Also, you have 2 USB-C ports now, one on the top and on the bottom. I know playing handheld, it was such a struggle if you're running out of battery. You had to plug it in at the bottom and you're holding it and it's just a mess. So now if you want, you can charge it at the top while you're playing handheld. So that's perfect. And you also have an extra port for accessories now. And another nice addition is now you have a more robust cart door. So before it felt a little more on the flimsier side, this feels a lot more robust and like it's not going to break on you. It opens up nice. The stand too, so they upgraded it with the OLED and that was really good, but this one it's even better. I like the U shape of it, and you can articulate it in any way, so you can make it really flat or stand up nice and straight. So the stand, another great bonus.
Okay, with the Switch 2, you get 256 gigabytes of internal storage. That's 8 times the storage of the original Switch, which was 32. So I know games are getting larger, so definitely that 256 gigs is a welcome addition. There's also 12 gigabytes of memory this time versus 4 gigabytes on the original Switch. And they're saying it's 10 times the graphics power of the original Switch. Now, Mario Kart World is like one of those first really big games. So I'm sure like later titles, as the system mature, will take more advantage of that graphics power as developers figure out how to work with the Switch 2.
Absolutely.
And there's also a more robust dock with fans for added cooling. Unfortunately, the dock doesn't have any way to output VRR support.
Definitely
Hopefully,
like
Nintendo will, maybe they can do something to patch that, or if this dock doesn't, maybe there'll be another dock that they can put out. And hopefully it won't be too much that will be able to output the VRR. There's support to 4K 60 frames per second. So we're looking forward, to playing those titles, and we're really happy about that because a lot of, the titles on the original Switch were lower FPS. Sometimes dipping even below 30. There's also support for auto low latency mode to reduce that input lag. Also a welcome addition.
And on the Switch 2 at the bottom, you have the micro SD card slot. Now, you do now need to have a micro SD express card. It no longer supports the old, the non-express micro SD cards. So you will need to pick up a new one of those.
Yeah, so it has those faster read and write speeds that, you know, it's going to be required to run this. So a regular micro, like Michelle said, won't work.
Now, some other new additions and features with the Switch 2, you now have GameChat. GameChat is a new Nintendo Switch 2 feature that lets up to 12 players chat while playing games, and you can share your screen in real time even while playing different games. So you now have that dedicated C button that everybody was wondering what it was going to be. It's the GameChat button, so you just hit that and you're ready to go. You pick some friends and you chat it up and play.
If you have the camera accessory, you can see your friends during your game chat sessions, and you can even self-impose yourself on the game screen.
We haven't been able to test out GameChat, but we have used the camera play feature while playing Mario Kart World, and it puts your face right into the game so you can see each other's reactions.
And it really adds to the gameplay. Seeing the person ahead of you laughing as they pass you really gives you that extra motivation to beat them. We recently had a game night where we all had a bunch of people over and played Mario Kart World, and everybody really got a kick out of the camera and seeing like the person they were racing against. It was great.
And the UI now is a little bit different. You have a couple of new options at the bottom and in settings. You also have mouse functionality. That's another thing we haven't played around with too much. There's a couple of games, the one basketball game and a couple of, you can use it in the home screen as well. But that's a nice feature, especially if you're a PC gamer coming over to the Switch. Now you can use that mouse function like you're playing on the PC, kind of, you know?
Yeah, I heard people are really liking it with Civilization 7. They've been using with that. So,
so
it's not a full-on keyboard and mouse replacement, but it's actually surprisingly pretty good.
Nice.
I've been hearing good things about it.
Yeah. And you have HD Rumble too. So it's upgraded rumble, improved haptics. It does feel a little bit nicer. I wouldn't go crazy to say it's like earth-shattering or anything, but upgrade is always nice.
Yes. Now, our experience with the Switch 2 has been really good so far. We're playing a lot of Mario Kart World. It's a ton of fun. The camera play feature is great in that game, as we mentioned before. It runs really smooth, and there's more detail with the characters and the terrain, and the high resolution is really good. And also, having 24 players is pretty intense.
It's crazy.
You know? But, you know, if you get behind, there's opportunities to catch up, but just having all those extra players, like when you get bunched up, and it's become wild, yeah.
And games look great on the screen when playing in handheld and on the TV. Now, when we first played on the TV, the HDR experience in docked mode, it was a little not right. So we had to make some changes. So at first it was just kind of oversaturated. Now, if you have a TV with HGIG, you really want to turn that on to ensure dynamic tone mapping won't conflict with your HDR settings.
Okay, so to get your HDR settings dialed in, you want to go into Settings, adjust HDR. The first screen will let you adjust the peak brightness, but then you arrive at yet another screen, and you might not notice, but you can hit the Y button to set the paper white and change the image here as well to see what it'll look like on the different game screens. This will help get your HDR not to be too saturated, and that worked for us. Now, we're going to leave a link in the description down below to HDTV Test, where Vincent Teo kind of really deep dives into this, and that'll help you guys more get your stuff dialed in for the HDR.
Another thing you want to change is under Display Settings, switch HDR output to compatible software only, so it doesn't make non-HDR games look weird. Now, we also picked up Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 upgrades for $10, and there were some noticeable differences here. You get smoother gameplay, more detail, and higher resolution, and the games really look great. You also have that addition of Zelda Notes, which is super cool and helpful.
Now, the display looks really good. It's LCD, but for an LCD, it's really good. It's not Switch OLED good, but a very good screen.
Now, Switch 2 also supports backwards compatibility with most Switch games. Some games even have free upgrades like Link's Awakening, Super Mario 3D World, plus Bowser's Fury, and Super Mario Odyssey. So you get better resolution, image quality, higher FPS in some games, and even HDR support. And you can really tell the difference, and everything looks and plays great on the Switch 2.
Now, the load times are a lot quicker, so things like loading up games, fast travel, for instance, in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, really fast, better than on Switch 1, so you're not just sitting there waiting. Okay, so with the Switch 2, there's a number of game formats, and we're going to go over them here. There are original Switch game cards. There's like 90+% compatibility. Those are your physical cards from the Switch. They're compatible, obviously, Switch and Switch 2. There are Switch 2 game cards. There are the RID physical cards. They're about 64 gigabytes in size, and they have faster read speeds. There's a thing called game key cards, and you'll get a physical card. It'll have like a key icon on it. Inserting it prompts for a digital download from the eShop. So it's a physical cartridge that acts like a license key, but there's no actual game data on it. There's digital downloads from the eShop. We all know what those are. There's virtual game cards, and it's like a digital equivalent of a physical game. So you could take there's a virtual icon appears in your library, and it can be loaded or ejected to different consoles. They're shareable, and you can lend to someone your family account, your Nintendo family account, and it's lendable for 14 days. So that's useful for a household with multiple consoles, and it works offline once it's loaded. Now, there are enhanced editions or Switch 2 editions of some existing Switch games, and some are getting free and paid upgrades, unlocking enhanced assets, graphic modes, performance tweaks on the Switch 2. Some examples of this are Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Breath of the Wild, Tears of Kingdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Pokemon Legends Z through A.
So you got all kinds of options.
Yes.
So convoluted.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, it really has been a great experience for us using the Switch 2. Having that larger screen to play on is really nice and handheld. Games really look great, and having support now for up to 120 FPS. Games play smoother. We've been having a blast playing Mario Kart World, and the camera play feature is really fun. And the Switch 2 just feels more grown up. You have a more premium console now.
Now the Switch 2 feels great in hands. The buttons and thumbsticks are bigger now, and they feel really good, especially if you have bigger non-kid hands. The sticks are a lot smoother over the Switch 1. And with the upgraded dock, you'll have the ability to play some games at 4K 60 FPS. That's something we're really looking forward to on the Switch 2. And the games look great on our TV. Now, replaying Breath of the Wild, and I'm still getting through Tears of Kingdom, and that's been a great experience. So we've had a lot of fun with the Switch 2.
However, the Switch 2 still doesn't have many new first-party games out there to take advantage of the new hardware. It also has a premium price tag at $449 or $499 for the Mario Kart World bundle. It can be a bit pricey. So you might want to wait a while until more games come out. Now, Donkey Kong Bonanza, we just saw the direct for that, and that looks bonanza, so we're excited about that. That comes out in July. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is going to have a nice Switch 2 upgrade with a whole new story, and that's coming out in August, so there's more to come soon.
So that's going to do it for this one, guys, but let us know down in the comments, did you pick up a Switch 2, or are you waiting for more games to come out, something to really, motivate you to get it? How do you feel about the price tag? Is there anything that you want to play on the Switch 2? Some of those AAA third-party titles, have you been looking to do it portably? You can do a lot of stuff on the Steam Deck. How do you feel about that? But don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.